055 774299 or 0777 517742 or email musanzatv@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook at Musanza TV. Musanza TV, viewers first.
Welcome to Musanza Main News. Let's look at the stories making headlines. Government commits itself to provide platforms for young people participating in decision making. Parents in Kalea Station in Mazabuka warned against using children to brew, test and sell illicit beer. Monza District Child Protection Committee intensifies the campaigns against violation against children. Join me shortly with the details on the other side.
Refresh your body, mind and soul this sizzling summer. Introducing the refreshing Clear with Nature's Taste Aqua Gel Purified Mineral Water, ultimately designed to quench your thirst with a revitalizing and refreshing taste. Stock available: 750 ml, 500 ml, 350 ml, 500 ml sachets and 18.9 liters containers. Drink and enjoy your purified and corporately packaged water which passes all tests. Live better, drink better. Call 0776 452710 or 0760 732565 now to make your order. Aqua J for a refreshing sip.
To present the main news, my name is Kampamba Gombia, a young journalist trained and sponsored by World Vision Zambia. Mazabuka District Commissioner Mr. Oliver Mulomba says the government is committed to protecting the rights of children and will ensure that they are given platforms for them to participate in developing the nation. Mr. Mulomba said this during an interview with the young journalist at his office. Meanwhile, Mazabuka District Education Board Secretary Mr. Dennis Himesa said and promised that the role of children are now playing in participating on matters that affect them. Mr. Hamesa says the participation of children in matters that affect them has made their work in planning for their welfare easy.
We value you as young ones and we appreciate your good works as young ones, and it's also a sign of encouraging you to continue with full participation in the governance of this nation, especially under the new Dawn administration. No one is left behind, you are also included. Not only that, looking at your age, you may not be free to fully participate where we have a mob of big people, with a muscular, what have you. We are here to protect you. If you are to undertake a program as youths, we can even involve the police to escort you because you are free. We want you to fully participate in the governance of the country. We realize that you are the future leaders, not knowing what we mean by future. It may be tomorrow or the other day, but ultimately you will be the future leaders.
When children are involved in matters that affect them, it becomes easier even for us in management to make decisions and to plan what is best for you. But in the first place, you must also be involved in the planning, at planning stage. And we have set structures where young people are represented. For example, in secondary schools, we have the head boy and the head girl that sits in the educational board. And apart from that, we have also a number of clubs at school level where young people are involved. So your contributions, your participation in those structures at those levels makes us to make the right decisions. In the first place, you must come up with solutions yourself. Because what we believe is that as learners, as pupils in the schools, you are able to disclose the challenges that you have to your fellow pupils. And that is how it should be. If one pupil has a problem, sometimes it becomes difficult to inform the teachers. But at your level, you'll be able to engage each other, you'll be able to disclose what problems you are incurring. Because sometimes you find maybe this child is coming to school very late, and the child will fail to tell the teacher the challenges that he has. But then when those issues, challenges are given to your fellow pupil, then it becomes easier to know what the problem is on the ground.
Many families in Kalea Station community of Mazabuka district are involved in brewing illicit spirits due to the poverty. However, there is growing concern about the involvement of children brewing, tasting and selling of the illicit beer. More in the following report.
Underage drinking was once a taboo, but today, taking alcohol by young people has become the order of the day. Children as young as 8 years old can frequently be found in bars consuming alcohol with no one giving it a concern. The Young Journalists Club visited Kalea Station community in Mazabuka, the home of a local spirit popularly known as kachasu. Due to poverty, many families are involved in brewing kachasu as a way of livelihood. We had a chat with one who brews kachasu.
Nenda upandula kachasu mboba ijiga mbo barabweza baraula mu byombyo dramu izude amana bara kusha ipero tatu bala dinga madramu dramu babika ipero tatu amamu ipero tatu amana bala tiramenda babika east amana first year in the 3 days ama bala bujiga bugo buzwa bo number 4 bala sibiga ipero hiri 6 amani babika jisaga ajipepa banga malaba amana first bo wanda gavuta nateka kuzwa batiramenda amabota kuzwa menda ajani amugati kwali gainda amabo bataka kuzwa amana nati bozo tumabola nishi bulika botu amabanda mbe tukolavira umina mbulika botu bo.
But why do brewers involve children in tasting this strong spirit?
Chotupeda bana utateste ndizevo janika jindi jando mudali utakamba kutesta hindi hinji tula kuchitaria notwanda kupesula kubika mu makontena ndizevo libize ulafiringa ulo ndiza kulicho chitala mwambira onditestira gopuko so mwana uyo obuteka moya mungapo onywa bomuganwa mamibuko kwasika ula mubonolo walomba chitamba amemenya na kumeho mbangwa muganwa kuya testi yakaena ya kumemenya na ulaiba kwamba kuti chintu koti chatianawa chasira.
The Drug Enforcement Commission explains the dangers of alcohol abuse in children.
When a child is using drugs, there's that disruption of the brain developments that actually happens. So other than that, there are health risks associated. Teens who engage themselves in substance use end up committing offenses. Hence, this is why you find some of them coming into contact with the law when they're under the influence of drugs.
Princess Likonge, Young Journalist, Kalea Secondary School.
World Vision Zambia in Musanza district is working with the district committee for child protection in committees to address issues of child protection in the Chiefdom Chongo area. Recently, the organization supported survey to collect data of issues. More in the following report.
Protecting children from violence has been a concern by main stakeholders. government and its stakeholders has developed many interventions in order to address the causes of violence against children. One way was to form the district child protection committees. Recently, the Musanza Child Protection Committee conducted a survey to establish what form of violence were common in the district so that measures could be put in place to address them. Mr. Collins Mumba is the chairperson for the committee and shares the findings.
As Musanza District Child Protection Committee, recently, about 2 months ago, we did what we are calling a local context analysis. We wanted to find out the actual issues that are there in the chiefdom so that we target in terms of addressing those issues. And so we conducted a survey where we targeted vulnerable children, adults, men and women, key informants, which also included a part of the chiefdom council. And at the end of the survey, we ranked the issues that we collected from the community. And in terms of our rank, what came out on our list is that number 1 child protection issue in Chonku Chiefdom is child neglect. Number 2 on the list is the lack of education support from parents towards their children, and also issues of child labor, teenage pregnancy, issues to do with child marriages. And we also went further to find out what could be the cause for these acts from the chiefdom. What we learned from our survey is that number 1, we still have some harmful traditional norms and customs that still do not value, especially when we look at the girl child in terms of school. What we learned was that mostly the traditional customs still value that we cannot support a girl child because 1, they'll still get married, they will leave the village, they will go to the other home. So why should we educate a girl child who is going to get married? The other thing also is on issues of cleansing. What we learned from the adults themselves is that we know that sexual cleansing has been done away with, but there is another form of cleansing where they are using children. We wanted to find out why is it that they are using children. What we got from the community is that children do not refuse, adults refuse. So because of their childhood, they actually being used towards these bad vices. And so predominantly these are issues that are not coming from outside the province, that are not things that we are not reading from the book, but they are actual issues that are coming from the community. So as a community, as a protection committee, this is how we have ranked, and our target is based on what is pertaining on the ground.
World Vision Zambia is working in the area and has also supported many interventions to end violence against children.
Some of the interventions that we've done include, number 1, the training of the young journalists in the various communities that we serve in both Chongo and Magoe. So the training is being conducted by professional journalists representing from Zanis and other private institutions. And with these trainings, the young journalists are able to gather information from the community and report so that the wider nation can be made aware of the various issues that are pertaining in the various communities. The other interventions is where we have the children councils in the schools, and these are clubs that are used to discuss about the child protection issues. And with these child protection issues, they are able to share various experiences and also just increase or broaden up in terms of the knowledge levels. And with that, we've seen that there has been an increase in the number of child protection incidences that have been recorded out there in both Chongo and Magoe. So the other aspect that we also look at, and in terms of the interventions that we've done, has to do with the back to school, or rather campaign, which we also incorporate with the End Child Marriage campaign in the various communities that we serve. So our focus there is just to highlight, or rather share, the importance of rather going back to school as well as ending child marriage.
Children have been involved in advocating for their rights and campaigning against violence through the media.
We as the Young Journalists Club, we have been advocating for children's rights through media, and we have been conducting some sensitization in our communities, which is helping a lot of children in our society and in our community by, you find that there are some children who don't know about their rights, but through the skills that we have as young journalists, we are able to teach our friends, to educate them the importance of going back to school and the importance of knowing their rights and their responsibilities.
It is therefore important not only for the children to be involved, but for all to work together to end violence against children. Trizan Kulugusa, young journalist, Kemba Hill Secondary School, Monze.
Meanwhile, children living with disabilities at Chongo Inclusive School in Moze District have appealed for help in addressing challenges the school is facing. More in the following report.
This is Chongo Inclusive Primary Secondary School in Monze District of Southern Province. Government set up the school in order for children with disability to access primary and secondary education. However, the school is facing many challenges.
I just want to share some little challenges which are being faced by this school. The school does not have resource room where to teach those with learning difficulties. Our school cannot afford to buy enough learning materials. Passage for those wheelchair users, they find difficulties in terms of moving from the dormitories to the classes during rain season. The kitchen and the dining hall are in a deplorable state, making our health at risk.
The school administration has also highlighted their challenges.
I have already pointed out transport, kitchen area, the dining hall and pathways. These children, for them to learn well, they need to move smoothly from one point to another, from the dormitories to the dining hall to the classrooms, so that they can learn. 2, we have those special cases, cerebral palsy cases. Some who cannot even go to the toilet themselves, they can't dress themselves, they have to be helped to dress. But now who can help them? The house parents that we have, the number is so limited. So with such a scenario, we need to have more house parents. In the future, if the government can bring in, be attended to only a one-to-one basis. Those who cannot learn under the normal classroom environment, so that they can also benefit. As it is, you find that even those are just incorporated within the normal classroom situation.
The Ministry of Education in Monza District is also interested in the affairs of children with disabilities.
We are trying by all means to make sure that no child is left behind. With the new dawn approach of education for all, and the priority that is given in the policies is to support those learners who are differently able. So for those administrators that may not understand fully, we encourage them to understand the guidelines that are provided. Where there is a challenge, we show them to say, this is how the way to go. They must fully participate. There is no time for anyone to slumber. We want everyone, and we don't want stories of learners that are differently able failing to get results when they sat for an exam.
The onus now remains on stakeholders to improve their conditions of this school so that children can freely enjoy their rights. Exoda Mangambwa, young journalist, Moze District.
We have come to our end of this main news, but before we do that, let's take